think I have us recording. Hello. I think I've got some light on us. Let's get this going here. Okay, hello. I'm Amanda with Grammy's Craft Boutique. I am part of the Grammy's Craft Boutique team. So hi to all my Facebook friends and to my YouTube friends. Some of you know that Grammy and I have been having some Facebook problems. We won't go into any detail, but there was a centerpiece that I really wanted to show you guys how to make. And instead of sitting on my hands and twiddling my thumbs and waiting to hear back about my Facebook access, I decided to go ahead and record a tutorial so we could at least post it on YouTube and post it on Facebook. So welcome to all of you. If you are on YouTube, please consider subscribing. We are going to be creating more content for YouTube. My mom is usually with me. My mom, Grammy, she usually accompanies me when we're live to watch comments and greet everyone. But since I'm just doing a tutorial today, it's just me here today. We're going to be doing a Christmas centerpiece. If you do have any questions, do drop them in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. We do have a, where did I put it? I had a mat that I normally have on the table for when I'm using mesh that has our phone number on it. It is 618-226-5593, 618-226-5593. You can text that number to get text alerts for when we go live. I text when we get new products in stock. I don't text you guys constantly. I just text to let you know if we have something new that just got delivered that's going to be listed. I can text when I upload a new video to YouTube. But again, give us some grace. We're not the most tech savvy family. We are a family business. So we do struggle through some of the trials and tribulations of it being a tech-based business world, but we're making it. We're figuring it out. So we are using a 36-inch pine base. This is available in our shop. It is a really nice pine centerpiece. It's really full. When you get this guy fluffed out, it is just a really nice piece. You can actually use these, if you bend them, you could use them as mailbox swags. You can use them as centerpieces. You can actually use them as wall swags. Could tie a couple pieces of pine together to make a hanger if you wanted to make it a wall swag. They're very versatile, and they are available in Grammy's Craft Boutique on Etsy. These are just awesome, versatile pieces, but we are going to use it today as our centerpiece base. So I did start fluffing it a little bit before I came on. The first thing I did was turn it over and make sure that the back was nice and flat, that all the pine pieces were nice and straight, that we didn't have any bumps. There were no sharp pieces, nothing sticking out, nothing that could scratch a table. Actually, I don't like that piece at all. So I'm gonna take my pliers here, squeeze that down. That was too sharp for my liking. Flip it back over. We're going to be using a small piece of foam block, some floral pins that you can get at any of your craft stores. I cut up a couple pieces of 18 gauge paper wrapped wire to make some long picks. I use DeWalt cutters and Fisker scissors. I do have a Surebonder glue pot that I use. We're going to use a collection of different picks that I'll show you as we go along in the project. My picks either come from Grammy's Craft Boutique, which is our shop, or they come from Khalees, which is one of my favorite stores to shop at. She is a fellow designer. The centerpiece to the centerpiece is going to be this package that is just adorable. And it's foam. So I love foam products. Foam gives you a lot of options of how, I'm just dropping everything today. Lots of options of ways that you can attach your product. So this is our centerpiece to our centerpiece. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this little piece of foam into the center of our pine base, right smack in the center. I'm going to dip this in my glue pot. And I'm just going to get a nice layer of glue. I just got a nice layer of glue on there. I'm going to wiggle it in. Now, honestly, that will probably hold it, but just for extra security, I'm going to dip a floral pin in some glue, pull up a piece of pine, push it in. I always use my pliers to push in my pin, and then bring that pine back down. And I'll probably do it on each side, just to make sure it's not going anywhere. When I secure stuff, I usually probably do overkill, but we're in the Midwest. We're in Collinsville, Illinois, right outside of St. Louis. And for whatever reason, a lot of our customers are in California. And I just want to make sure that if I send a centerpiece to California, that centerpiece is going to make it with no problem. We'll do one on the other side. Glue strings. It feels so weird not being able to talk to you guys. But if you do have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. Can always get a hold of me. Text us. You can email us at info@grammyscraftboutique.com. We're on Facebook. We're here on YouTube. My mom and I always try to make sure that we respond to all of our questions and comments. So I'm just fluffing out the pine a little bit more. And I fluff as I go, as I add things. Sometimes you have to move your pine around. Okay, so the little piece, and this isn't going anywhere. It's really in there now. So the reason I wanted that little piece of foam in there is because I want to add our present. Some glue strings on this little present. And I kind of want this present to be at an angle. Okay? So I don't want it to be perfectly sitting here. That's kind of boring, right? You always want things to have a little interest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a couple dowels. I'm going to dip them in glue. Make sure I get my angle right. I'm going to put my first dowel in. Okay. I'll have to cut that a little bit. But I think I'm going to need at least one more because I want it to really hold. Because this present is kind of tall. Glue strings for days over here. So we got one there. I'm going to put another one right here. I try to put dowels in threes and try to form some pressure. Okay. All right, so I'm going to trim those down. To about 1.5 inches or so, because remember I didn't put a very big piece of foam in there. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of glue on the tips of those dowels. Sorry, I keep walking away in my glue pot. My glue pot is over here. Okay. Put this. I'm just going to hold it for a second while that glue hardens a little bit. Let's see, give it a little shake test here. In there pretty good. Now see, we got some pretty good gap there, and you can see some See under there, you can see some of the mechanics. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull up some of this pine pretty high, and I'm actually going to pin, let me see if I can show this to you a little bit better. Pull up some of that pine pretty high and pin some of it to the bottom of this present to camouflage what's going on under there. Hopefully that makes sense. Because fortunately, you know, we're working with like a really nice full centerpiece, so there's lots and lots of pine to work with. So and if you ever need to camouflage anything when you're doing a centerpiece like this, the best thing to do is like pull off a piece of pine that is in an area that like doesn't show, and cut it off and pin it in to cover like your foam or whatever, because you know no one's gonna know that you did it. Sorry, this, you can't see this part because I don't have a camera going this direction, but I'm just camouflaging the foam under the present. And then fluffing up the pine. So then you have the present at an angle on your centerpiece. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we have these plastic shatterproof balls. The main thing I really was going for with this centerpiece was really whimsical. Lots of different, you know, patterns and textures. You know, the present has plaid. The balls are polka dot. I've got some glitter balls. I just wanted it to be really fun and whimsical. But the main thing is the focus is that you've got three main components. So my three components are the gift is in the center. Then we're going to have two big balls, one out front, one out back. So we want it to look pretty from all sides, right? And I took the 18 gauge paper wrapped wire, I cut it in half, and then I made myself a long pick with it. So I've got two long picks for the two ornaments. And quick tip, I hot glued the ornament cap on so it wouldn't pop off, because that's always a pain. And then we have these fun picks, the green and red and white glitter balls. Those are a lot of fun. Take the tags off of these. And we want these coming off of each end for some fun interest. I'm not going to trim the stem off just yet. So I'm just going to kind of see how long I need it. Because we want the balls to come all the way to the end of the longest piece of pine, for sure. We want to pull all the balls up to the top. We don't want to waste any fun glitter. Okay. So slide this one in this way. Just getting a feel for the placement. So I'm probably going to trim quite a bit off. I left about that much of the stem. And I'll do the same to the other one. Cut it off. So we don't have to fight with quite as much of that long piece there. Slide it in here. And I don't think I'm going to worry so much about gluing this because we've got plenty of nice pine that we can anchor it with. I'm going to grab a couple pieces of pine down here, give it a twist. Kind of space these out. Pull these up. Grab a piece of pine here. Piece of pine here. Give that a twist. And you can, if you feel better, you know, giving it some glue, that's totally fine. I just didn't think it needed the extra reinforcement. But if you're using a glue gun, you could pump some glue in there if you felt like you needed to, or you could dip the stem in. But that's what that gives you at the end there. That really fun multicolor ball pick. It's a lot of fun. And we'll do the same on the other side. We want to make sure we're getting the right spacing. You don't want this one going way out past the end. Give it a twist with some pine in a couple places. Make sure your ball pick, the balls are up at the top here, so it gives them some height. got that fun look on the other end. Okay. Just a really fun, really whimsical. Okay. Probably a good time to go ahead, come in with our 2 ornaments. I went ahead and slid the wire in, and I'm going to dip that in some glue because that's going to go into our piece of foam, our little bitty piece of foam. And then I'm just gonna wrap a couple pieces of pine around that wire to kind of camouflage that wire. And then you can move your pine around to get your ornament nestled in however you want it. We've got that one in there like that. And we don't want to ignore the other side of the arrangement because we want this to look nice from both sides, right? And with the ball pick, made the ends of this arrangement look amazing. So much fun from both ends. It's just a lot of fun. So we'll get the other ornament in our other long wire. Get that in the foam. Take a couple pieces of pine. And get that one standing up where we want it. Okay. So you can kind of see from the side that they're at an angle from each other, which is perfect because that sets us up for perfect placement for our next picks, which are too cute. These next picks have a little gift, some curly cues with balls, little candy cane, and they're going to go opposite the ornaments. Now this one I already had fluffed out. You have to fluff your picks. They come super compact. You can't just take out a pick or a spray and just use it. You have to touch every single element in your pick, pull them apart, touch each and every element. That one was already fluffed, so you can see how good that looks. I haven't glued it or tied it in yet, but I'll show you what I mean by fluffing. These things come super compact, okay? You slide it out of the bag, and yeah, it's really cute, but that thing is flat as a pancake, okay? You need to touch each element. Let me try to get it a good angle here. Each element, this little gift, pull out this little ball, maybe bend him, your little curly cue. You literally have to touch each element of a pick or a spray. Pull these guys out, maybe bend them. These leaves are going to need moved and bent. These leaves need moved and bent. I mean, there's no way you're not going to get glitter on yourself all over the place. You got to shape this stuff. It's not going to come right out of the bag the way you want it to look. These guys, sometimes these things, these spray pieces, sometimes they're glued together. Sometimes you got to get those all pulled apart. So it's not the most fun part of designing, but it's the most important. And then I give the whole pick a bend right at the base. And then it's going to go in opposite the other one. So I think I'm going to do what I did with the big ball picks, and I'm just going to tie these in with some pine. Okay. Now, if this centerpiece sells, and it's to someone on Etsy, it's not a local sale, I'm going in and I'm gluing everything. I'm doing the shake test. I'm turning it upside down. I'm doing all those things, okay? Because when my dad and my mom ship packages, they do the upside down test and the whole 9 yards to make sure nothing's falling out of these guys, you know. Now, I have a really hard time not adding ribbon to a design. So I made a simple florist bow. This is a 6-loop bow with some tails, and I made this one ahead of time, and I zip tied it and I put it on a piece of the 18 gauge wire. But I'm going ahead and I'm going to make one for you guys so you can see how I made this. I'm going to move the centerpiece out of the way just for a minute, and then we'll add the 2 bows. Oh, the glitter. Glitter makes me happy. I know it doesn't make everybody happy, but it makes me happy. Because I sell ribbon in my Etsy store, so I have a hard time not adding ribbon to my projects. It's just, I love pretty ribbon. So I did a 9-inch tail, put it in my bow maker, gave it a twist, and then I made about a 5.5-inch loop, gave it a twist, and you want to make sure you're keeping your loop loose. You don't want to smash that thing flat. Okay, another twist. Another loop, but this time, instead of twisting, I'm scrunching it down. Okay, so this is going to give us 2 tails on one side and 2 loops on one side. And this is just a different kind of bow that I like to make sometimes for centerpieces. This time we're going to start with the tail on the other side, 9 inches, twist, put it in your bow maker. So your tail's on the other side. Same length, about 5.5 inches, twist. Twist. One more loop. And then scrunch it down. And that's going to give us 2 tails of red on this side. Get a zip tie. Pull it up out of my bow maker carefully. Put my zip tie around it. While I'm giving it plenty of pressure so I don't lose my bow. Start the zip tie. But don't zip it all the way down because you got to get your pin in there. I just showed the pin to my phone, but you guys aren't on my phone, you're on my camera. Now that you got your homemade floral pin in there, zip it down tight and cut that zip tie off. Then you can fluff out your bow. Get this out of the way and bring our centerpiece back. So right between your ornament and your big pick with the little gift on it, I want to add a bow on each side. So I'm going to add some glue to my wire. And then I'm going to go into my foam. And just kind of work your tails around. This is the part that takes me the longest because I always want to work my tails in and around the pine. So we're going to do the same on the other side. So you have a little bit of that lime green or apple green with the tinsel edge, a little bit of the red. Now, the last thing and this is completely personal preference. Some people just absolutely do not want any bare spots on a centerpiece or a wreath. Now, I don't mind if there's some pine showing. I think pine is pretty. But I did bring up this glittery red leaf, and I just pulled it apart. I'm going to clean up these edges real quick and just show you, you know, a last step option for you if you need some more bling. Just going to clean up these ends with my wire cutters. So what I would do is I would just kind of take a look around, fluff out my leaf, see if there's any place that looks like, might look like it needs a little extra something. Add a little red there, and maybe under here. So we did 2 on that end. So we'll come down here and see if we need 2 on this end, probably here. I don't really like those being exactly on top of each other though. So maybe angle this one. Angle that one this way. Angle that one that way. Now I do not like having one piece of something and there's quite a bit of green under here, so I'd probably stick it there. So I didn't glue those in because I'm not sure if I'm absolutely married to the idea of those red leaves, but that's an option if you are just like, there's a couple blank spots, I just feel like it needs a little extra, but your main thing is, it's here. Let's chat. The main concept is it's a recipe, okay? You have a base, which is your centerpiece pine base. For me, it was 3 components. The foam present in the middle, and then 2 ornaments. From there, I wanted something to balance the 2 ornaments. So I found 2 really cute picks that had little gifts, the little presents in them, and then the 2 matching ball picks for the ends. Then I decided, can't not have ribbon, so let's do 2 pretty simple bows on either side. And then if you need to zhuzh it up more, you can always add some glitter leaves or glitter cedar leaves or some glitter pine or something like that. So it's not complicated if you think about it as a recipe, as a process, a little kit that you're putting together. So that's what we have. I think this would be really fun on a table this Christmas. I mean, not for nothing, but this would look really awesome on my coffee table. Just saying. I mean, I should probably sell it. I said that last year about my gingerbread thing that I made, but it goes on my kitchen table because I love it. That's the risk of being a crafter. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. My Facebook friends, I'm sorry that we're not actually talking to each other, but know that I miss you and I love you. My YouTube friends, new and old, I appreciate you. Thank you for being patient with me. Again, not tech savvy, but I'm going to get there. And please subscribe and be patient and give us some grace. We're going to get there, and we're going to have more content. And my mom and I are we're working on some fun stuff for you guys. And I just want you guys to know that we wouldn't be here without you. So I appreciate each and every one of you, and I hope that you're all doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and get ready for a super fun holiday season, and we're going to do a lot of fun stuff together. Okay, guys, have a great rest of your day. Bye. Have fun with glitter and all kinds of neat stuff. It's going to be fun.